Alright guys, I'm coming with you with potentially the entire next patch. Let me put a couple caveats there. We are 2 weeks before the next patch, so this list probably will change. We're quite a bit away from it. But with that said, it's still worth going over. Now, how did we, the Plain Talk family, assemble this list? You'll see this list also on Reddit. But let me tell you how we assembled it, because to be honest, we may or may not be the origin, the Plain Talk fam, of this list. So Play Gwent's website, where you import decks from, updates their cards' power and provisions based on CDPR's like upcoming server, as opposed to the actual server in the gameplay. So today, people noticed that Bloody Mistress had 11 provisions listed there. And a couple, more than a couple, a lot of things were off. Last time this happened, all the changes hit the live server on the next patch. Now, this is the first time we've ever seen it 2 weeks in advance. So put a little asterisk here. Some things could change again. Also, word on the street is that the text changes aren't coming through yet. So if something got Zeal, it would not show that yet. So, tentative list. Also, leader ability nerfs and buffs, not going to show here either. The only thing we have regarding that is text clarity on Bloody Mistress. That is another leak from a streamer, also one confirming that the text on Play Gwent has not updated, just provisions and power and points. So don't put all your weight on the next patch. Don't think that this is going to be all the changes, but we probably have a lot of them here. And honestly, looking at this list that's been assembled, I think a lot of these, if not all of them, are going to go through. Bloody Mistress is going up one provision and getting some clarification that she, when she transforms, keeps the same power. Simple enough. Makes sense. They did a hot fix. They're going to lean into the hot fix. They're going to clarify. And then notice no other real nerfs. It would not surprise me if next patch, speculating if Line Pockets lost a provision. That seems to be CDPR's current preferred way of nerfing things. Like Jackpot lost 2. Jackpot got shoved out of the meta. Syndicate, no other cards really changed for Syndicates other than buffs. So sorry about that. This type of patch is between another card drop. From what I can tell, CDPR takes the perspective of buffing cards. Buff a lot of things that aren't seeing play. And let's just go down the list real quick. Not all of them, but just touching on a couple that catch my eye. Crow Clan Preacher grr, got down from 5 to 4 provisions. Getty decks got buffed. That's really good. And hey, that might help Druids, Cultists get back into the meta, because Druids and Cultists have so much overlap. We see Shupe at 12, which is so nice. That's my, is that my favorite buff? I think it's my second favorite buff. Shupe going to 12 is awesome. Honestly, with Redea's buffed off the strategic initiatives, or whatever they're called. What are they called? Stratagems. That's the thing. Stratagems and such. Redea Shupe could enter the meta again. Would be sick. Cohen, maybe still a meme card, maybe not. Depends on how good a Amphibious Assault Cohen ends up being. If it starts +3, how crazy does it get? Chris Butterfly, and also, way down here, Ifling got buffed. Hand buff's looking a little bit better. That's awesome. Cadwell, Bamboozle did really well. Actually, let me touch on Triss Butterfly real fast. People are underestimating this card. Randomly give 4 to a unit in your hand is strong-ish. So people are like, oh, this thing's just a 9 for 9. But if you just run Skags or Glace, you're looking at a 12 for 9. It's hard not to necessarily... Honestly, I find it hard to passive on that value. It'll be interesting to see if this pushes hand buff. But don't sleep on Triss Butterfly, guys. That card is actually pretty strong, because Skags and a Glace double the buff. Carrying on here, we got Jut to the 7. A little bit of a... What is the card called? Man, you know what? It's late. We're not going to worry about it. And I just also have this awkward chat hanging right there, don't I? That's gone. Somebody followed while I was offline. It's flattering. Thank you, random person, and welcome to the YouTube video. Going back to where I was saying, oh, Jutta buffs ice decks. It'll be interesting to see if it goes anywhere. Nothing else. Octavus to 6, low key. I might have just made a deck of Octvist and really enjoyed it, but I don't think it's strong enough to be C play. Puggo to 11. That's an interesting buff. I'm not sure it's going anywhere. Trial of Grasses is much stronger. It's really easy to get a 10 for 6 here. Don't sleep on this. Keep an eye out for it. A lot of other small buffs here. This is my favorite buff. Desert Banshee. Death Wish is getting a nice buff. That's a second 4-point consume. That's good for meme decks like Rat Swarm. It's good for Death Wish in general. And Death Wish got a little touch here there. Plague Maiden, now 8 power at 11 provisions instead of 7 for 12. Ruin goes to 10. I don't think Ruin's going to see play still at 10 because Succubus is so good, but Desert Banshee, if Death Wish is good, Desert Banshee will see play. It's a consume on an engine. Unbelievable. And honestly, all in all, that's about it. Some people are going to be excited by Kick or Queen. That's pretty cool. Knighthood, don't sleep on this. This in the Tridam Infantry is a plus 12 play, so that's pretty good. And Tridam's a 4 provision card to commit. Like, that's not a hard synergy to run. Setting up a brutal opening of, if I'm on red coin, going second. Red coin obviously goes second. It's late. You play a card, I play Tridam, you play a card, I play Knighthood. I deal 6, wiping out most of your 1 or 2 early engines, and then I get to go tall. Likewise, play my Tridam Infantry. If you play Self Eater, I Knighthood, I kill your thing. I have an 11-point unit out, 10-point unit out. That's really strong. And I've committed 9 provision to wipe out your unit and go to a 9, and have Tridam out, which is an engine into itself as long as I buff it. That's pretty good. These are all the changes we've seen. Again, this is very tentative. It's exciting. I know a bunch of you are going to say, where's the rest of the nerfs? What about Mamuna? What about Syndicate? This isn't probably all of them. Text changes are coming. It would not surprise me if Mamuna lost Seal. It wouldn't surprise me if Line Pockets lost a provision. More may come, and also, paradoxically, some may not. CDPR really likes the idea, from what I can tell from looking at the previous patches, buffing lots of random cards instead of nerfing the existing meta decks very, very hard. Instead of a beat them down to the lower level here, raise everything up. It's power crept, but if you power creep everything, then everything stabilizes and the numbers are just a little bigger. So it should work out. I hope you all enjoyed this. Again, this is speculative. If I find out any more information, I will assemble the Plane Talk family on stream and we'll dig deep into Play Gwent to find out what else is out there. Feel free to let me know down below what your favorite change is, and enjoy. I'll see you on whatever the Gwent field thing is called. GG. Shout out to McRandar and Ahmed Ali for all their generous support on Patreon.